Hello everyone. I'm putting a special video in between the World Cup. Unexpected video. Very sad news for Indian cricket, especially, and even world cricket. Bishan Singh Bedi, considered the world's greatest left arm spinner, has passed away at the age of 77. All the older generation people will never forget Bishan Singh Bedi. I mean, I'm too young to have seen Bishan Singh Bedi bowl live, but I grew up watching clips of him and hearing a lot of stories about Bishan Singh Bedi. I mean, even when I was in South Africa, and every time I saw a left arm spinner, it's always Bishan Singh Bedi that came to mind. Bishan Singh Bedi played 67 test matches for India. I've actually made a note so that I don't forget. Yes, 67 test matches for India, and and he took 266 test wickets for India. And I'll never forget what the greatest thing that I always remember about Bishan Singh Bedi is a title that uh, Gavaskar gave into him. I mean, Sunil Gavaskar was one of my first cricketing hero when I was young. I was crazy about Sunil Gavaskar. I was also fortunate enough to play in the cricket ground that was inaugurated by Sunil Gavaskar in Mavelikara, the school that I studied. There is a video on my YouTube channel. In fact, there was a book of Sunil Gavaskar, My 32 Grades. And for every player, he gave like a caption. And for Bishan Singh Bedi, it was floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. And that exactly was Bishan Singh Bedi because I've watched a lot of clips of him. He flighted the ball, it floated like a butterfly, the flight that he had. And once the ball pitched, it was like a bee, it stung like a bee because it used to turn so sharply. And I've heard so many comments from ex players, especially West Indian players like Vivian Richards, Chappell from Australia, Greg Chappell from Australia, Tony Grubb from England, all the big great players. I've heard them in commentary say a lot about Bishan Singh Bedi and they rated him so highly. And Bishan Singh Bedi was part of that very famous quartet of spin bowlers that India had that Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi brought. Bishan Singh Bedi, Chandrasekhar, who was unorthodox, and Prasanna, Irapalli Prasanna, one of the greatest off spinners. My father was fortunate enough to face him once and Venkatragavan as well. That was a four spin quartet that India had. Venkatragavan was also a famous umpire. After that, Venkatragavan was one of the best umpires as well. I mean, they four, Pedi, Chandrasekhar, Prasanna, and Venkatragavan were unplayable. I mean, especially on the Indian pitches, India were unbeaten for many, many years. And Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi, the great captain, actually started that for India because we didn't have very much fast bowlers at that time. So he brought that spin combination that was absolutely deadly and dangerous and scared of in those times. And another thing that I read was that, I mean, Bishan Singh Bedi, after Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi, Bishan Singh Bedi was the captain of the Indian team. And in that famous match where India chased 404 in the fourth innings at Port of Spain, West Indies. That was the world record for a long time before West Indies broke it. The fourth innings total in a test match, the highest to be ever chased was 404 in Port of Spain, West Indies. And in that match, Bishan Singh Bedi was the captain. So that's a big way to start off his captaincy. He obviously is from Punjab. He started his Ranji Trophy for Northern Punjab and then later on played for Delhi. He also played for the county in England, Northamptonshire. And there's something that I actually came across which I never knew. He has a world record. In that 1975 World Cup, the first Cricket World Cup, he has a world record of the most economical figures by a bowler. Let me just quickly check it to get it right. In those times, 60 overs were played in a one day match, even the 83 World Cup, which India won. And one bowler could bowl 12 overs. Bedi's figures in that match was 12 overs, 8 maidens, 6 runs, and 1 wicket. Imagine that. You're bowling 12 overs for just 8 maidens and just 6 runs and 1 wicket. He gave away 6 runs in 12 overs that he bowled. I think it was against. Let me check. Yes, it was against East Africa at Headingley. So that's something that I never knew. I mean, that's amazing to hear about Bishan Singh Bedi. And he has coached a lot of children at academies, and he has actually been a mentor for a lot of spinners, and even a lot of left arm spinners from overseas. When they used to tour India, they used to talk to Bishan Singh Bedi and get tips from him, because there is no one better than him in left arm spin bowling. Derek Underwood of England was rated very highly for his left arm spin, but he was the most dangerous on wet wickets. I've heard Gavaskar and many of the other batsmen say in commentary. On a wet wicket pitch, Derek Underwood was unplayable, they used to say. But Bishan Singh Bedi is considered the greatest ever left arm spinner. And to all junior players, youngsters, you might not have known about Bishan Singh Bedi. You might have heard or read about it, but if you have never, when you get time, please check YouTube and please try to check some videos of Bishan Singh Bedi. Left arm spin. I mean, even if you are not a left arm spinner, even if you are just a normal spinner, it will teach you how to flight the ball, and the different varieties, and the importance of how to flight the ball. And even if you are a batsman, I mean, it will help you to see how to play bowlers who fly the ball like that. Very sad news for India. Let me check if there's something else that I wrote that I wanted to say. He obviously played from 1966 to 1979 for India, and very sad news for he hasn't been well in the last 2 years. And the best memory for me about Bishan Singh Bedi will always be that, from what I read from that Sunil Gavaskar book, floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. And I've actually used that a lot when I used to coach children in South Africa, because there used to be some spinners, off spinners, who used to come to me. I'm a batsman and who used to bowl spinners. And whenever I used to tell them the importance of flighting a ball, I used to tell them about Bishan Singh Bedi, even though they were very young. Obviously, South Africa cricket, young cricketers are very passionate and they always want to learn. So I always used to tell about how important it is to fly the ball, and that flight is the biggest weapon of a spinner. And I always used to give the example of Bishan Singh Bedi, and I always used to quote what Gavaskar said about Bishan Singh Bedi: floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. And that is exactly true about Bishan Singh Bedi, and that's how a spinner should always bowl. In today's cricket, you see a lot of people, spinners, who actually don't fly the ball. When they get hit for sixes, they try to bowl flat. But a spinner's biggest weapon is always the flight, because it's not easy to uh, conquer the flight. And if you don't really read the flight, you can always be caught. And I've heard Irapalli Prasanna say that even if he bowled in this today's era, he would have been successful. And I've heard my father say as well, Irapalli Prasanna would get people caught at the cover. I mean, he could get it done at will, because one, two, three balls he would see the batsman, he would play them in their mind, and the fourth ball he would get caught. That's how much the flight was used in the old days. But in today's cricket, a lot of spinners don't use the flight that much. Anyway, coming back to Bishan Singh Bedi, very sad news for Indian cricket. I would love all junior cricketers, youngsters, to actually do some research on Bishan Singh Bedi, try to see some of his clips, and to see how he used to bowl. And I'm sure that will inspire you. And rest in peace, Bishan Singh Bedi. Thank you for all the great memories and inspiration you have given. Thank you everything for you have done for Indian cricket and world cricket. And you will still live on through generations of spin bowlers that you have inspired. Rest in peace. Thank you, everyone.